people to understand what was happening or how they were parking money and hiding money in 2021, the leverage that is GameStop. GameStop explodes and no one closes their position. That means they had to inflate the books, the plus side, but you couldn't inflate certain stocks. You can't go buy things, guys. It's not like that. It's not like you can go buy and generate. You're going to end up wasting money, right? So rather than waste money on securities that are out there and pump them, they went to SPACs and pumped SPACs because SPACs have a return of 2 years, i.e. if it never merges, it's a blank check company. If it never merges with another company, then they get their money back. So they're waiting on their money and they increase. So when you looked at 2021 and you saw the amount of SPACs that were developed over the course of 2 years, you had 1,400. You had 700 companies, more than 700, IPO in 2021. The max IPOs that happened per year, this year included and the year before, were 100. You had 100 every year. Now you had 700 in one random year. Well, you know why? Because they had to offset what GameStop is, the monster it is. So when you're talking about short percentage and what they're offsetting, I'm telling you that's just reported. They don't have to report. But what are they really offsetting? 700 IPOs that launched. 1,400 SPACs that launched. So those are the things that have been happening on this market that no one can explain. It's not that there was a mass, addition to the markets and the GDP that we were going to grow. No, it's hard to borrow money. It's covey heavy, this whole environment. There's no way that the macros support expansion during this time frame. So when people are listing companies that are growth stocks and your 7 growth stock companies, the 7 at the top of the S&P 500, are literally just Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google, Nvidia. There are all these companies like this that are just, and Microsoft, these companies are pushing the whole world, yet they all had mass layoffs last year. They all had downsizing, and now they're trying to get it back. It's not what you think it is. So you're being masked and you're being, lied to about Bidenomics. You're being lied to about the economy and the way it rocks. When the Fed is out here saying we're going to halt, everybody goes, oh, well, they're not increasing rates. Yeah, well, they're also not decreasing. They're halted. They're holding the market where it's at. So housing is at 7.5%. You guys want to know what it's going to do? When you're out here trying to rent things, trying to buy things, what are you qualified for? You're going to find out just how hard it is for America to survive during this downturn. This downturn, we're at an all-time high on bankruptcies personally. You've seen every TikTok video, every YouTube video that's showing you bankruptcy lawyers are stretched thin. They are busy. They have work. Why? Not only are corporations going under, but people are going under. And when that starts fumbling down, they have to sell their assets to survive. And when you sell your assets, what are your assets, guys? Not just housing, not just art that you've been saving, not gold bars. You're talking about securities. They're going to be selling off their positions. And that's why the bottom half of S&P 500 is falling down and falling out. So when you look at finances, this is the best time in America to buy stock. This is the best time to invest in yourself, in the foundation of what you're doing. So that's the truth. And that's always going to be the truth. But when you pick a stock at the bottom down here, you better hope that you're picking a company that shows leadership. You're showing a stock that shows the merit of doing great work, and the industry makes sense. That's the difference.